Welcome to Be More Yogic. My name is Amanda Dee, and today I'm going to guide you through a vinyasa flow that leads into Peacock pose. Peacock is really great to strengthen the wrist and the shoulders. It also helps to strengthen the back. The class will of course incorporate other poses to get an all-round body workout. So we're going to start. You're going to come onto all fours and have a block. If you don't have one, you can still do this class and miss out all the things which when I refer to the block. There'll be plenty of other things to do. Have your knees under your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders. Shoulder blades on the back, lift through the lower belly. And then you're just going to spin your right fingers to point back, then your left fingers, and then turn the right hand forward, turn the left hand forward. So you're rocking side to side, right fingers back, left fingers back, right fingers forward, left hand forward. So keep that going, just warming up the wrist. And Peacock pose does require a flexibility of the wrist and a strengthening of the wrist, so we need to prepare the body for that. Just a few more times. Being mindful as you place the hands that they're not all crooked, the fingers are spreading. You're kind of squeezing the floor with your fingers. Now the next time you turn your fingers back, just stay there. Feel like you're squeezing a circular object. Bend the elbows back and inhale forward into cow spine. Keep the elbows bent and round the spine, looking towards your navel into cat. Inhale, cow spine, pull your heart forward. Exhale, round, look towards your navel into cat. Cow spine, inhale. Exhale, rounding into cat. Inhale, cow spine. And exhale, rounding into your cat spine. Tuck your toes, start to peel up the back of the palms. Keep pressing your fingers down, elbows are bent. And then come all the way back. Make tight fists with your hands and just circle the wrists in one direction. And then change that into the opposite direction. Point through your toes, bring your fists into the soft tissue of your belly. So underneath the lower ribs, above the pubic bone. And then come into child's pose. Now you can rest your forehead onto a block if you have one, if it doesn't touch the floor. And then I just want you to massage the abdomen using the fist, so wiggle your fists around in your belly. So in Peacock pose as well, you're going to be bringing your elbows into the soft tissue of your belly, so you want to get your belly used to this sensation. And this is really great for quickening your metabolism, making your digestion work a lot better by helping the food to pass through the intestines. So it's like an intestinal massage. And then lift yourself up. Now if you do have a block, this might be a little bit too much. If you're trying to get pregnant, you're pregnant, anything like this, you definitely don't do this. You're going to come forward. And you're going to bring that block again into the soft tissue of the belly. Try to soften the belly as much as you can. Bring your elbows towards the floor. And then I kind of lean back so the block presses into the belly. And then just soften. The abdomen muscles are going to want to tighten on you. So see if you can keep trying to relax. It doesn't feel that great, but it is good for you. And then if you see, I'm just rocking side to side again, just a little bit of a massage for the intestines. Soften even further. Keep allowing the block to go deeper. Then hands under your shoulders. And come back up. Take the block out of the way. Have your hands so that the center of the palms are as wide as your outer shoulders, fingers spreading, wrist creases parallel to the front edge of your mat. Tuck your toes and press back to your down dog. See that the sides of the feet are the same distance to the side edges of the mat, so you're nice and evenly in your mat there. Biceps up, triceps down, lift through the lower belly, press the heels back. If your hamstrings are tight, bend the knees so you can find a little bit more of a back bend in your lower back. Shoulders away from your ears. Step your left foot closer to your right foot and inhale, lift the right leg up to the ceiling, hips square. Lift through the belly and exhale, knee to nose, round the spine. Inhale, lift that right leg up and back. Press through both the heels, exhale, knee to nose, round the spine. Inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Lift your hips nice and high and step your right foot behind your right thumb. Ground down your back heel slightly forward into the left so you have a fist distance from side to side between your inner heels so you're not on a tightrope. Lift the arch of your back foot, press through the outer heel and slowly roll yourself all the way up. Bend your front knee so it's checking over the little toe and the toe next to it. Back leg nice and strong, so engage that knee. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling, pull your lower ribs in and lengthen your tail down. Bend the front knee a little deeper. Give yourself a big hug with your left arm on top of the right. Keep the elbows this cross and bring the back of the hands to touch. And maybe you can hook your palms around each other so you're double wrapping the arms. Otherwise, just stay here. Lift the elbows up, keep lengthening the tail, and see if you can start to bring your forearms parallel towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Keep pressing through the outer back foot. The weight stays in the back foot as you come forward. Drop the head and try and get your shoulder to the inner knee. Wrap your right outer hip in so your hips are square to the front of your mat. Bend the front knee a little deeper. Arch of the back foot is lifting. Maybe drop your head. 3 breaths. Exhaling 1. 2 breaths. Keep pressing the weight back into the outer back foot. Last one. Inhale, reach the elbows forward so you come through an open heart to come all the way back up. Now inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling, straighten through your front leg. As you exhale, you're going to hinge at the hip creases, reaching the heart forward and fold forward over your legs. Bend the front knee, press your palms together, inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Plug the arms into the sockets. Exhale, straighten the front leg, swan dive, and fold forward over your front leg. And again, bend the front knee. Press your palms, inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Right outer hip wraps in. Exhale, straighten the front leg, dive forward, and fold over that front leg. Come into a flat back, lift up all 5 toes in your front foot. Press down the big toe, lift the kneecap. Either stay here if your hamstrings are tight or heart to toes fold in. Pause, Uttanasana, 3 breaths. Breathing out 1. 2 breaths. Again, lift the arch of that back foot, outer heel pressing. Last 1. Exhaling 3. Bend the front knee, slide your back foot back so the front knee's over the ankle. Hips same height as front knee. Take a twist, lift the right arm up to the sky. Lift your left hip point so you're counter twisting with your hips. Press the back heel back, straighten through the back leg and bend the front knee deeper. Now see if you can look up towards your top hand. Lower shoulder blade on your back. Extend that top arm alongside your ear. Look up under the armpit. Take 1 more inhalation, lean back. Hands to the floor, ground your palms, step back to down dog. Roll forward to plank pose, inhale. Lower your knees, your heart down between your thumbs, shoulder heads lift. Inhale, pull forward and up into cobra. And then exhale, press yourself back to all 4s and then to down dog. Step your right foot closer to your left foot, keeping your hips square. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine, lift your hips high. Inhale, the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine, lift your hips high. Inhale, the left leg up and back. Now step the left foot behind your left thumb, a little wider stance. Step the right foot slightly forward and ground the heel to the midline. Fist distance between the inner heels. Lift the arch of your back foot and firmly press through the outer back foot. And then drop the head, stack your spine, rolling all the way up. Front knee tracks over the little toe and the toe next to it. Lift through the lower belly, lengthen your tail and reach your arms up. Straighten the back leg all the way, lift the heart. And then give yourself a big hug, right arm on top. Keep the elbows on top of each other as you bring the back of the hands together. And maybe then you can double wrap the arms. Thumbs towards the third eye, elbows start to lift up. Lower tip of the shoulder blades come together and down. Keep lengthening the tail. Press through the outer back heel. Straighten the back leg. And then from here you're going to bring your eagle fingers towards the floor. Keep the arch of the back foot lifted. Wrap the left sit bone back towards your right inner heel. Maybe drop the head. Bend the front knee a little deeper. So you get a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. Try and move the weight evenly in that front foot. A little more weight back into the heel. Keep the eagle arms, reach the elbows forward so you come through a back bend to lift up. And then you're going to reach your arms up towards the sky, straighten through the front leg, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward, folding over the legs. Bend the front knee, press your palms together, warrior one, inhale, rise up. Keep lifting the arch of the back foot, exhale, straighten the front leg, fold forward over your legs. And again, bend the front knee, gather up, warrior one, inhale. Straighten the front leg, exhale, swan dive, and fold forward over your legs. Come into a flat back, flex all 5 toes in the front foot, press the big toe mound down. Wrap the left outer hip back, reach your heart forward, and if your hamstrings are open, hinge and fold. 3 breaths, inhale, exhaling 1. 2 breaths, inhale, exhaling 2. Last one, exhaling 3. Come into low lunge, slide your back foot back, so when you bend the knee is over the ankle. Keep lifting through the right hip point and lift your left arm up to the sky. Counter twist with the hips. Bend the front knee deeper and push the back heel back. Back leg is strong. Maybe look up towards your top hand. Take one more breath. Roll that lower shoulder head back. Hands to the floor, breathe in. Step back to down dog, breathe out. Roll forward to plank pose, inhale, look forward, lower knees, chest chin, shoulder heads lift. Glide forward into cobra, pull forward and up, inhale. Now exhale, lower the forehead down, lift your legs by spiraling the inner thighs up. Press the toes down, lengthen the tail, pull forward and up. Exhale, lower the forehead down. Lift through the inner thighs, legs are straight. Ground the feet, lengthening your tail, pull forward and up. And then exhale, press yourself back to your down dog. Take a journey forward, stepping consciously, spreading the toes, feeling the texture of the mat under the feet. Have your feet about 2 fist distance apart, which is about hip distance. Align the outer edges of the feet with the sides of your mat. Bend your knees if your hamstrings are tight and drape your spine down. Breathing into your hamstrings. Weight over the front of the heels. Outer heels firmly pressing, big toes grounding. Now you're going to start to trace rainbows across the front of the feet. So you're swaying side to side. Head is heavy, knees are bent, belly is in. Now keeping that momentum, that movement, start to roll all the way up. Head is heavy, so you're like a rag doll. Once you get to the top, just keep twisting around the axes of the spine, just warming up and lubricating the vertebra, the disc between the vertebra. And then slow that down. See that your feet are nicely aligned, hips back, hip points lift, tail lengthens. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, press your palms, look up. Bring the prayer to the heart center. Reach the prayer up, elbows together, inhale. Open the hands like you're opening a book and reach the hands forward. Imagine you're splashing water on your face. Roll around the back of the wrist, hook the thumbs, look up. Back bend, hips back, tail lengthens. Fold and interlace the fingers, right index finger on top, fist over your head. Let's do that again. Bend the knees, hook your thumbs, dive up, inhale, hands to prayer at the heart. Prayer reaches up, elbows together, breathe in, hands reach forward, breathe out. Roll around the back of the wrist, hook your thumbs, dive up, inhale, fold and interlace the fingers, right index finger on top, fist over your head. One more time, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, inhale, hips back, tail lengthens, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Prayer up, elbows together, open the hands and reach the hands forward. Roll around the back of the wrist, hook your thumbs, dive up, fold and interlace the fingers, right index finger on top, fist over your head. Lift the shoulders away from your ears and then reach the fist over a little more, squeezing the thumbs towards each other. Now keep your fists, bend the knees, inhale, look forward. Keep the body parallel to the floor as you move the weight to your right foot, and slow as you can, step the left foot to the back of the mat. So you're on the ball of your back foot. As your arms reach up, straighten through the front leg, breathe in. Now bend both the knees, hover the back knee off the floor, arms out, flex the palms. Now you're going to lift the arms up, bring the tip of the fingers together, and bring the back of the wrist to touch. Kula Mudra. Bend both the knees, hover the back knee, flex the palms. Just like you have wings. Inhale, Kula Mudra, back of the hands touch. This is a healing mudra. Exhale, flex the palms. Bend the back knee, lengthen the tail. Straighten both the legs, Kula Mudra, back of the wrist touch. One more. Exhale, flex the palms, lengthen your tail. Inhale, straighten Kula Mudra. And now lower your back knee all the way to the floor, reaching your fingers up. Pull your hips back, hug your outer hips in. Eagle wrap your arms, left arm on top of the right. Turn the thumbs towards the third eye. As you pull your navel back, press your hips forward. Feel like you're squeezing your front heel towards your back knee and vice versa. Now start to lift the heart forward and up. Forward and up. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Press your right knee slightly to the right. Soft face, soft jaw. Now take the back bend out, tuck your back toes. So this requires the strength of the legs. See if you can straighten your legs. Arms reach up. Exhale, find warrior two. Front heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Check out your alignment. So your front knee's checking over your little toe. Front thigh parallel to the floor. Lift up your right hip point, look forward. 3 more breaths in. Lift the arch of your back foot. 2 breaths, trying to deepen this left hip crease. Last one. Exhale, 3. Straighten the front leg and lean back, reverse triangle. Lift your right hip point. Lift up all 5 toes in your front foot. Lengthen the underside of the body and come into Trikonasana. Roll your right sit bone underneath you and gaze to look up at the ceiling. Pull the belly back. Ground down the outer back foot so you're always rooted. 3 more breaths in. Lifting your kneecaps. 2, inhale. Exhale. Right outer hip pulls back a little more. Exhale, 3. Extend that left arm alongside your ear, take it into a side stretch. Maybe you can reach to the floor. And then parallel your feet to the side wall and fold over your wide legs. Inhale to a flat back, move the weight over the arches, root the outer heels, lift the kneecaps. And then exhale, lift through the lower belly as you lengthen and fold. Just taking a few breaths here in your forward bend. Lifting the shoulders away from your ears so your neck is long. Hands under your shoulders, come into a flat back. Now you can just bend the left knee and stay here if you've got knee issues. Otherwise, spin the left heel in. Walk your hands to the left. Slide your right foot in a little closer and spin the toes to point up. This is called Skandasana. Prise your left inner knee open so it's not collapsing in. I like to take my right hand under the right leg so I can prise both my inner thighs open and reach my heart forward. Now stay low. You're going to crawl forward. Make sure your right toes are pointing forward and come into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Pull that right outer hip back and try to stack your left hip on top of the right. Top leg is nice and strong and straight. Keep rolling the right side of the body underneath you a little more. Move the weight back into the arch of the foot. Now take your left hand to half prayer and use your thumb to pick up the heart a little more. Look down at the floor. See if you can lift through the lower belly. That's going to help the balance. And bring your hands into full prayer. So balanced Ardha Chandrasana. Step your feet slowly together. Chair pose, bend the knees, weight to the heels. Hands to prayer, exhale, twist to the right. Left elbow to the outside of the thigh. Come back through chair pose, inhale. Hands to prayer, twist to the left. Heart to thumbs, make sure your knees are even to the front of the mat. The arches of the feet are lifting. Squeeze your outer hips in to stabilize. Pelvic floor muscles lift. Now either bring your right hand to the floor or look down at the floor. Lift up onto your right tippy toe. Pick up the right heel. And slow as you can, pushing the left knee into the arm back into the knee. Extend that right leg back. Stepping into your twist. You're on the ball of your back foot. Lift your belly off your thigh. This is a lot. You can also have your back knee down. Keep spiraling, heart to thumbs. Again, your outer hips are hugging in. Your back leg is super straight. And you're leaning your head and heart back. 3 more breaths in. And out. 2 more. Inhale. And breathing out. Last one. Breathing out 3. Hands to the floor, ground your palms, inhale. Stepping back to down dog as you exhale. Roll forward to plank pose, breathe in, look forward. Slowly lower to your belly as you breathe out. Pull forward and up, cobra, inhale. Lower the forehead down, big toes touch. Lift your legs. Ground your feet, pull forward and up, cobra. And press back to down dog as you exhale. Now you're going to step your left foot slightly forward and ground the heel to the midline. So the tendency here is for people to cheat. They walk the hands back. So there's less weight in the hands. I want you to keep your hands where they are. Now keeping the back heel grounded, that's really important. Lift your right leg up in the air. Open the hip. You want that right leg in line with the right side of your body. So if you look up past your navel, you should be able to see your toes. If you can't, move the foot a little more to the right. Now push with your right hand. Maybe take your left hand back. Maybe you can hold onto the inner ankle or the leg. Keep lifting that top leg up. That's what's keeping you in the balance. Lift through the belly. Left hand forward, pivot off that left heel. Exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Ground down the back heel, rise up, warrior one, inhale. Eagle wrap the arms, left arm on top of the right, exhale. Inhale, lift the heart into a back bend. Exhale, touch your eagle fingers towards the floor. Inhale, lift your elbows back up, pivot off your back heel at the last minute. Step forward, interlace the fingers, right index finger on top, fist over your head. Hook your thumbs, dive up to standing, breathe in. Hands to prayer at the heart. Left side, prayer reaches up, elbows together. Open your hands, reach your hands forward. Roll around the back of the wrist, hook your thumbs, dive up. Hips back, tail lengthens, fold and interlace the fingers, left index finger on top. And again, bend the knees, hook your thumbs, dive up. Hands to prayer in front of the heart. Prayer reaches up, elbows together, inhale. Open the hands, reach the hands forward. Roll around the back of the wrist, hook the thumbs, dive up, lengthen the tail. Fold and interlace the fingers, left index finger on top, fist over your head. One more time, bend the knees, inhale, dive up, lengthen your tail, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Prayer reaches up, elbows together, inhale, open the hands, reach the hands forward. Roll around the back of the wrist, hook your thumbs, dive up, fold and interlace the fingers, left index finger on top, fist over your head. Stay there, lift the shoulders away from your ears, squeeze your palms together and reach the fist over. Now keep your fist, bend the knees, inhale, look forward, move the weight to your left foot. Pick up your right knee and slow as you can. As the head reaches forward, the right leg reaches back. Stay close to the floor to step the foot back. Arms reach up, straighten through the front leg as you breathe in. Lengthen, woo. As you exhale, you're going to bend the back knee, hover the back knee off the floor and flex your palms as the arms come down. Straighten through both the legs, bring your fingers to touch. Bring the back of the wrist to touch, Kula Mudra. And then exhale, bend both the knees, flex your palms, hover the back knee off the floor. And again, straighten, curl your fingers in, Kula Mudra. Exhale, bend, flex the palms and hover. Fingers together, Kula Mudra, inhale. Exhale, bend, flex the palms, arms alongside your body. Now inhale, Kula Mudra, straighten the legs. This time, flip the palms to face each other and lower your back knee down to the floor. Pull your hips back, squeeze your outer hips in. Eagle wrap the arms, right arm on top of the left. Turn the thumbs towards the third eye and lift the elbows up. Squeeze your outer hips in and press your hips forward. Keep lifting the lower belly off the top of that thigh as you lift your elbows up. Relax the shoulders. Back of the neck is long, heart forward and up. Back muscles soften and melt. Move your left knee slightly to the left, lift up and melt back. Now take the back bend out using the strength of your legs, tuck your back toes, straighten through both the legs, reach your arms up towards the sky, and then move your feet into position for warrior two. Front knee tracking over your little toe. Try to turn your body more towards the side wall. Lift the left hip point. Looking forward so your eyes are even down that middle finger. 3 more breaths. Try to soften through the shoulders. 2. Exhale. Last one. Straighten the front leg and lean back. Reverse your triangle, lift the left hip point. Lift up all 5 toes in your front foot and lengthen forward into Trikonasana triangle pose. Try to have hardly any weight in this left hand. You can also have a block under the hand. Pull the left outer hip back, look up. Keep spiraling the lower ribs underneath you, 3 more breaths. Pressing your feet down. 2 breaths, inhale. Lengthen the underside of the body a little more. Last one, inhale, back of the neck is long. And exhale for 3. Extend the right arm overhead and get a nice side stretch by lifting through the middle right ribs. And then parallel your feet to the side wall and fold. Either stay here, you can grab yogic toe lock, bend the elbows out to the side, lift the shoulders away from your ears, pulling your head down. Some of you might hop your feet back, interlace your fingers, bring just the front of the crown of the head on the floor, elbows no wider than your shoulders, lift your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe lift up onto your tippy toes, either stay here, maybe lift your legs out to the side, press through the heels. If you feel comfortable, maybe bring the soles of the feet together, open your knees nice and wide. Baddha Konasana, lift through the tail. Remember, this is optional. If you're newer to yoga, please don't do this. Always practice against a wall until you feel comfortable. Open the legs wide, press through the heels. See if you can bring the heels down before the balls of the feet. Inhale, come into a flat back, everyone. Either bend your right knee if you've got knee issues or spin the right heel in. You have to slide that left foot in to come into Skandasana. Press your right inner thigh open. Left hand can go under your left leg. And then try to reach your heart forward. Staying low, curl forward and come into Ardha Chandrasana. See that your left toes are pointing forward and they're not turned in. Concave the belly back so you have support in your core and start to spiral your chest towards the side wall. Press through the top heel. Feel like you're getting longer from the crown of the head to the heel. Then maybe take your right hand to half press, spin the chest up a little more. Keep pulling the belly back, look down at the floor, maybe soften through the left knee and see if you can come into a balanced Ardha Chandrasana. Keep grounding down through the big toe, which is going to want to lift on you. Step your feet slowly together, space between the heels. Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands to prayer, exhale, twist over to the left. Chair pose, arms up, inhale. Hands to prayer, take a twist to the right. Heart to thumbs, see that your knees are even to the front of the mat. You can bring your left hand to the floor or see if you can pick up your left heel. Slowly, slowly pushing that front knee into the elbow, reach the left leg back. And then stepping into your lunge twist. Adjust your feet accordingly. So your feet are about fist distance apart. Lift the heart to the thumbs. And know you can always lower that back knee. Belly off your thighs, outer hips hug in. Compacting the hips. 3 breaths in. Lift the left hip point. Inhale. Exhaling. Last one. Hands to the floor as you breathe in. Step back to down dog as you breathe out. Roll forward to plank pose on the inhalation. Slowly lower to the belly so your shoulder heads lift. Pull forward and up into your deepest cobra yet. Lower the forehead, big toes touch. Pick up your legs. Rock back, cobra, inhale. Press back to down dog. Exhale. Inhale, roll forward to plank pose, look forward, move forward, bend the elbows halfway and no lower. Upward dog, pull the heart through, down dog, pressing back. Now you're going to step your right foot slightly forward and ground the heel to the midline. Lift through the arch of the back foot. Now try not to walk your hands back again because that's cheating. Lift your left leg up in the air, keeping the knee straight. Open the hip. Know that the leg is going to want to go back behind you. So if you look up past your navel, you should be able to see the toes. Either stay here or slide your right hand back halfway. Maybe you can reach back for the right inner leg. Keep that top leg nice and straight, reaching up. Ooh, and then bring the hand forward, pivot off the right heel, step the left foot behind the left thumb, round down the back heel and rise up to warrior one. Eagle wrap the arms, right arm on top of the left. Bend the front knee deeper, lift the heart into a back bend. Root down through the outer back foot as your eagle fingers come towards the floor. Inhale, lift yourself all the way back up. Pivot off your back heel, step forward, fold, interlace the fingers, left index finger on top. Hook your thumbs, dive up, breathe in. Hands to prayer at the heart, breathe out. Prayer reaches up, elbows together, inhale. Open the hands, reach the hands forward. Circle through the wrists, hook your thumbs, dive up, inhale. Fold and interlace the fingers behind the back. Right index finger on top, fist over your head. Bend the knees, inhale, look forward. Stay close to the floor. Step your left foot slowly to the back of the mat. Rising up, high lunge, straighten through the front leg. Keep the arms reaching up, lower your back knee down to the floor. Pull your hips back, eagle wrap the arms, left arm on top of the right. Exhale, bend the front knee, lengthen the tail. Breath cycle to back bend, inhale. Exhale, back of the neck long. Take the back bend out, tuck your back toes. Inhale, straighten, arms reach up. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, lean back, reverse triangle. Lengthen forward, Trikonasana. Exhale. Extend the left arm alongside your ear into the side stretch. Parallel your feet to the side wall. Skandasana, turn the left heel in, breathe in. You've got an exhalation to flex that right foot. Stay low, Ardha Chandrasana, inhale, align the toes. You've got an exhalation to find it. Left hand to half prayer, breathe in. See if you can come into full prayer, breathe out. Step your feet together, Utkatasana, chair pose, weight to the heels. Hands to prayer, twist to the right. Chair pose, arms up, inhale. Twist to the left, exhale. Chair pose, arms up, inhale. Swan dive and fold, exhale. Flat back, inhale, prepare. Jumping, or step back, chaturanga. Upward dog, inhale. Down dog, pressing back. Inhale, lift the right leg up in the air. Step the right foot forward, ground down the back heel. Rising up, warrior one, inhale. This time interlace the fingers and fold forward, fist over your head. Rise back up, warrior one. Pivot off the back heel at the last moment. Step forward, fold. Interlace the fingers, right index finger on top. Bend the knees, hook the thumbs, dive up to standing. Breathe in, find your back bend. Hands to prayer in front of the heart. Last side, prayer reaches up, elbows together, inhale. Reach your hands forward, exhale. Roll around the back of the wrist, hook the thumbs, dive up, find your back bend. Exhale, fold, interlace the fingers, left index finger on top, fist over your head. Bend the knees, inhale, look forward, move the weight to the left foot. Slow as you can, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Rise up, arms up, straighten through the front leg, inhale. Lower the back knee all the way to the floor, exhale. Eagle wrap the arms, right arm on top of the left, breathe in. Press the hips forward, turning the thumbs towards the third eye. A breath cycle to back bend, inhale. Relax the shoulders, go deeper, exhale. Take the back bend out, tuck the toes with strong legs, straighten the legs, arms reach up. Open up to warrior two and adjust your feet. Straighten the front leg, lean back, reverse triangle. Lengthen forward, triangle pose as you exhale. Extend that right arm alongside your ear into a side stretch. Parallel your feet to the side wall and fold forward. Turn the right heel in, Skandasana, or just bend through that right knee. You've got an exhalation to prise the right knee open. Look forward, stay low, curl forward, Ardha Chandrasana, inhale. You've got an exhalation to concave the belly back. Right hand to half prayer, look down. Maybe come into the full prayer. Feet together so they touch, Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands to prayer, twist over to the left. Heart to thumbs, chair pose. Exhale, twist over to the right. Chair pose, inhale. Swan dive and fold, exhale. Flat back, breathe in. Jumping, go step, step back. Chaturanga. Upward dog, inhale. Pressing back to down dog as you exhale. Inhale, lift your left leg in the air. Step the left foot forward, ground down the back heel. Rise up to warrior one, square your hips forward. This time interlace your fingers behind the back. Left index finger on top, fist over your head. Rise back up, warrior one. At the last moment, pivot off the back heel. Step forward, interlace the fingers, left index finger on top, fist over your head. Hook your thumbs above your head as you stand up. Take your hands to prayer, close your eyes. Find your center. Deepen the breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Notice how you feel. Then inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Swan dive and fold forward over your legs. Inhale to a flat back. Jump back through your vinyasa. Upward dog, inhale. Now stay there, lower your right knee. Keep your left leg straight. And look over your left shoulder towards your left toes. So you're getting a stretch in the right side of your body. Lift both the legs, come back to center. Left knee to the floor, keep your right leg straight. Look over your right shoulder. Now come back to center, bring both the knees down. Pull your hips back, look towards your navel and round into a cat spine. And then you're going to face the side of your mat. You're going to bring the big toes to touch. You can also put a blanket under your knees. Open your knees really wide as you can get them. Now bring your hands forward. You're going to bring your heels and align them right behind the knees. And then flex your feet. So your legs are at a 90 degrees angle on either side. Now the tendency will be for you to move forward because that makes it easier. I want you to move your hips back. So your greater trochanter bone, the top of the leg bone, is in line with the knee. Now if you find that you're going back too far, it just means that you need to widen your knees and then hence widen your heels. Keep reaching the weight back. Breathe into your inner thighs. I sometimes like to rock backwards and forwards here. So you'll feel the stretch in the inner thighs. This is called frog pose. Maybe over the time you can slide the knees out a little more. Coming back to the fullness of the breath. Scanning your body from head to toe. Notice if there's anywhere that you're over gripping. Try to soften those areas. Anywhere that feels weak, try to strengthen those areas. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhaling 1. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhaling 2. Last one. Exhaling 3. You're going to come onto your hands, move your hips forward, and then bring your big toes to touch first, and then your knees together. Sit back either onto the heels on a block or in your Virasana. You can rest your hands on your legs. If you're in Virasana, make sure your pinky toenails are on the floor, your outer ankles are hugging in, and your knees are in line with your hip points. Lift up, sway your heels over towards the right, sitting onto the left side of that left heel. Right hand to the right, lift the left arm up and take it into a side stretch. Lean the head and heart back. Top palm is face down, arm plugging into the socket so the shoulder is away from the ear. Come through center, take it to the other side, so sway your heels to the left. Your bottom sits to the right on the floor, left hand to the left. Lift your right arm up and take it into a side stretch over to the left. Top palm faces down, arm close to your face, arm bone plugs in, lean back. And then lift yourself up. So we're going to come into the first variation of Peacock. So this is what I tend to teach my beginners. It's a little less stressful on your wrists. So if you have a block handy, this will help a lot. Now you're holding to the block. You see how my wrists come together and I kind of butterfly my hands around the block. Now from here, you want your knees wide. You're going to take your elbows, and just like we had at the beginning where the block was pressing into the belly, now that's going to be your elbow. So you have to round the spine to try and get your elbows as low down on your pelvis as you can towards the lower belly. You kind of, if you're a woman, you kind of have to scoop underneath the breast tissue. Now from here, so you can see I'm wiggling into it, I'm trying to get my elbows to the heaviest part of my body, which is my pelvis. Now the weight's all back here, like in all crow poses, like in all arm balancing poses. So you need to move the weight forward, bird poses should I say. Reach your chin forward, and just like a scale, big toes touch, and then maybe the knees lift. Ugh. So the elbows pressing into the belly is like that belly roll. It's really good for you. It's a kriya to help your digestion. Now, if you don't have a block, the position of the hands, so we did all this thing, inhale the arms up, hands to prayer, prayer draws in, elbows together, open your hands. Now from there, the fingers point back, spread the fingers. Now the same thing, you want to get your elbows as low down on the belly as you can. Kind of feel like you're squeezing a circular object with your hands. Reach your chin forward, and then maybe your knees lift. It's hard to talk in that pose, but that's the second variation. Just pull the top of the palms back just to stretch out your wrists. Make tight fists, circle your hands. Spread your fingers wide, press into your fingertips, and come into down dog. So now we're going to move into a more advanced variation, just a few stretches beforehand. Shoulders away from your ears, lower ribs in, press your heels back. Inhale, lift your right leg up. This time open the hip, bend the knee. Pull the left outer hip back. Lift the left shoulder head so your shoulders are square to the floor. Now step by lifting your knee high into your belly, the right foot between your hands. So front knee over the ankle, hips same height as front knee. Ground down the back heel so the back foot's parallel to the back edge of your mat. Take your fingertips to the inner heel. Either you can take your hand on a block or to the floor. So if you feel like you're rounding to get your hand down, take a block. Wrap your right sit bone underneath you so you're not sticking your butt back, and move this left thigh bone back. Lean back, reach the left arm up to the sky. Bend the front knee so it's directly over your ankle. Root down through the outer back foot and maybe take a half bind. Use the back of that left hand to pull the right hip underneath you a little more. Now either stay here without leaning forward so you see my body doesn't move. I catch my bind. Spiral to look up. 4 breaths. Breathing out. 1. Keep leaning back. 3 breaths. Back leg is super straight. 2 more. Inhale. Exhaling. Last one. Hands come to the floor. Pivot off your back heel. Straighten through your front leg. Inhale, lengthen. Flex the front foot. And exhale, fold. Right hip pulls back. Left hip forward. Stay in a flat back if your hamstrings are tight. Dig that front heel down and forward. Bend the front knee, bringing your back knee to the floor. Lift your arms up. Pull your hips back, hands to prayer, take a twist to the right. Pull the belly off the thigh, so your tail lengthens, heart to thumbs. Either stay here or see if you can push your right knee to the left. So that knee comes right behind the armpit there. Fingers to the floor or to a block. I like to roll my belly up to the ceiling using my right hand, and then lift your right arm up. Maybe lift your back knee, lean back, so you're not curling your chin in. If it's available for you, some of you might come into the full bind. Kind of have to wiggle this hand in place. Squeeze your outer hips in and lean back. 3 breaths. Breathing out. 1. 2 breaths. Exhaling. 2. Last one. Hands to the floor as you inhale. Lower your back knee. Pull your hips back until your front leg straightens. Slide the heel about an inch forward. Heart to toes. You can give the leg a little wiggle if the hips are gripping. Either stay here or some of you might slide into full Hanuman splits. I like to tuck the back toes so I can roll that back inner thigh up to the ceiling. Pull your belly back, and that will kind of give a little bit more slack to the top of the hamstring tendon so you don't overstretch it. You don't want to be here. If you go back and forth like that, you can actually feel the strain it puts on the top of the hamstring. So pull back. Press your legs down, squeeze your legs in. Three more breaths. Try to stay with it. This is one of those poses that you always want to jump out of. You're just waiting for my words to say to you to come out, but just stay there. Yeah, you need to use the breath to find the steadiness of the mind so it doesn't run away with you. And then slide the right foot back to where it came from. Bend that front knee. Now from here, lift your back knee, step back to plank pose. Okay, so here's the more advanced variation. Just try your best with this. Either lower down for your vinyasa or spin your right fingers back. Spin your left fingers back. Walk your toes forward. Bend the elbows into the lower belly. Reach your chin forward. See if you can lift your right leg. Bring the face close to the floor. And maybe you can lift your left leg. Lower down. Pull the palms back. And if you're seeing this pose, my hands are further apart. So you can have your hands together, which will be a little harder to balance from side to side. Or like me, hands a little wider. Okay. Back to down dog. Let's finish that side. Inhale, lift your left leg up in the air. Open the hip, bend the knee. Square your shoulders to the floor by picking up your right shoulder. Lift through the belly, push your right heel down, and press your heart towards your back leg. Biceps up, triceps down. Step the left foot between your hands. Front knee over the ankle, hip same height as front knee. From that position, ground down the back heel. Take your left fingertips either to a block or to the floor. Didn't say this before, but you can have the elbow on the thigh. Just don't lean into the shoulder. Wrap this left sit bone underneath you so you're not sticking your bottom back. So you're in one straight line from the crown of the head to the left sit bone to the back outer heel. Reach the right arm up in the air. A little concaving of the belly back, which will tone the belly and lift you out to that left hip point. Either stay here, moving the weight more into your feet, or take that right hand behind you. Use the back of the hand to pull the hip underneath you a little more, but keep that back leg straight. Now without leaning forward, so you see I just take my hand underneath, catch the fingers. Some of you might hold onto your right wrist, finding Janna Mudra. Lean back, right shoulder rolls up and back. 4 breaths, and out. Back leg is strong, 3 breaths. Rooting down through the outer back foot. 2, and out. Push your feet down a little more. Last one. If you have the bind, gently release it. Pivot off the back heel, so you're on the ball of your back foot. Flat back, flex your front foot. Either stay in your flat back if your hamstrings are tight or heart to toes. Roll your right inner thigh back. Dig that front heel down and forward. Bend the front knee, lower your back knee down. Pull your hips back, arms reach up, hands to prayer. Take a twist to the left. So lift your belly away from your thigh so you've got space in this hip joint. Lift your heart to your thumbs. Some of you might push that left knee to the left, slide down to the right armpit, and take your fingers in line with the heel. So you're not here, you're on the outside of the leg. If it's too much, keep your hands in prayer. Lift your left arm up. If you're in this position, lift your back knee. Roll the back and the thigh up to the ceiling and lean back. Squeeze your outer hips in, compacting the hips. Some of you can find the bind. Lean back. Strong legs, 3 breaths. Whoops. If you fall, just come back into it. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Last one. Hands to the floor, unwind, lower your back knee and pull your hips back till your front leg straightens. Slide it about 1 inch forward so your hips are over your back knee. Flex the foot and fold. This time feel like you're sucking the leg back so the leg grows shorter. So you're nicely rooted. Either stay here or slide forward into full splits. Notice the difference between the 2 sides. You'll always have one hamstring or one hip flexor tighter than the other. But see if you can try to even that out. So if you're really opening one side, back off. If you really tighten the other side, you're trying to mimic that with the other leg. So you're more even. And we open up the tighter side. Feel like you're sucking your legs back. And playing with that kind of cat-cow in the lower back so you can feel how pulling the belly back gives a little bit more slack to the top of the left hamstring. So we're looking after our hamstrings. Squeeze your legs in towards each other like you're trying to close your legs together. And I like to keep my back toes tucked under so that I don't fall to the side like this. It keeps me nice and square to the front of my mat so I do get the hip flexor. 3 more breaths, inhale. You can have your hands on blocks if your hands don't reach. Try not to lean forward like this. You want to be more upright. Last one. Slide the heel back to where you came from. Bend the front knee. Ground your palms. Lift your back knee and step back to plank without lifting your hips. Either lower through your vinyasa or turn your left fingers back, bend the elbow. Turn the right fingers back, bend the elbow. Walk your feet forward. Try to bring your elbows as low down on your belly as you can. Reach your chin forward. Now if you look at my elbows to my wrist ratio, you see how my elbows move forward. Lift up your left leg first, and then maybe your right leg. Peacock pose. Tuck your toes. To release the wrist, lift your knees. Straighten the legs and step onto your palms. Curling the big toes right up. Your toes right up your wrist creases. Press down into your big toes. If you can keep your belly connected to your thighs, straighten through the legs. Move the weight forward in your feet. Maybe give the feet a little wiggle. That will massage the palms. Lower your knees down. Come to the front of your mat. Bring a block between your inner thighs. Have your knees under your hips and squeeze through the block. Move your hips back, lift through the lower belly, lengthen your tail. Take your hands to your lower back and scrub your tail longer, elbows in. Lift through the heart. Either tuck your toes or point your toes. Keep your hips over your knees. Reaching your hands back to your heels. Keep your chin in, lift through the heart, lengthen your tail, squeeze your block. And if you're touching your heels, then drop your head back. Squeeze your block. Keep your head back, bring your bottom down, and then head forward. Move the block out of the way and just take a moment to feel. Coming down onto your backs, playing with bridge or wheel, or maybe you go from here. Tuck your toes. You'll see that I look towards the floor before I drop back, so you want to see the floor. Wrap your shoulder blades in the back, lift the heart. Your toes are tucked under now. Lift, 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 keep looking forward, keep looking forward. Once you see the floor behind you, then you reach your hands back. Pressing into wheel. Otherwise, bridge or wheel to modify. Try to straighten the legs, turn your toes in, press into the fingertips. So you're trying to move your weight in the direction of your gaze. Lift up onto your tippy toes, chin to chest. Slowly roll you back to the floor. Let your knees knock. Just a reminder, if you wasn't doing the drop back, you can do the bridge position, which is this. And there is a tutorial on wheel if you look for it online on our website, Be More Yogic. Have your feet as wide as your mat and just let your knees go side to side, just to release the lower back. You're going to cross your right leg over your left like a lady crosses her legs. Draw your knees into your belly. And as you pull your knees in, push the knees into your hands to traction out the spine after the back bending. Now pull your knees in. Some of you can flex your feet and reach for your heels. Lift the heels towards your ears and then pull them down towards the floor. Your knees are still together, so you can also hold your shins or your knees. Lengthen your inner ankles. So this is Gomukhasana on your back. It's a hip opener. Place your left foot onto the floor, so your knees are still crossed. Lift your hips up and move your hips over to the right side of your mat. Draw your knees in. Now this is a little strange. Right hand on the top of your left foot. If your hamstrings are tight, I want you to hold onto your right knee with your left hand. If your hamstrings are open, you're going to hold onto the outside of the foot with the left hand. So I'll do the modification first. So keeping hold of the top of that left foot, reach your left knee down. So I'm going to tie you in a big knot here. Now keeping the right shoulder grounded, take that right knee across, bringing the toes to the floor into a twist. So your knee might not touch the floor. It's more important that your right shoulder stays grounded. The more advanced variation, same thing, holding onto the top of your left foot, reach the left knee down. Extend the right leg up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. And then I like to use a block, especially because I'm on this board and I'm a little higher off the floor. You're going to keep your right shoulder to the floor as you bring your right leg down to the floor or onto a block. Lengthen your right hip away from your right armpit. Again, both your shoulders are grounded. You can lengthen through the spine. Wherever you are, see if you can move that left knee back. Just hop it back a little more. And gently release. Bend the right knee. Come back onto your backs. Move your hips back to center. You can move your block over to the right if you're doing this with the legs straight. Cross your left knee over the right like a lady crosses a leg, so the knees are together. Draw the legs in. As you hold onto the knees, push the knees into the hands and then pull on the knees. So you're just stabilizing the sacroiliac joints, the lower back. Now draw the knees in tightly towards your belly. Either staying here or maybe flexing your feet and reaching for your outer heels. Lengthen your inner ankles so you're not sickling the feet. Lift the feet up first, knees stay together, and then pull the heels towards your ears. If this is too much for you, you can be holding the shins, or again, just holding onto the knees. You'll feel this in the outer hips. Gomukhasana reclined on your back. Supine Gomukhasana. Bring your right toes to the floor so you can lift your hips up and over towards the left side of your mat. So we're going to come into that strange transition again. So see if you can hold onto the top of the foot. You can also do this with the knees crossed or just take a regular twist. Hold onto the right knee with your left knee with your right hand. First drop the right knee down and forward and then take that knee across, keeping your left shoulder grounded. Otherwise, same thing, but you're holding onto the outer foot. You extend the left leg up, right knee goes down. Take that leg across onto the floor or to a block. Curl your shoulders to the back of your mat so your spine can relax down. Left hip away from your left armpit. Move your right knee back a little more if you've got room to do that. Looking towards your left shoulder so that the twist goes all the way up into the neck spine. Flexing through your left foot. Gently release your legs, rolling onto your right side. Take your right arm alongside the ear. Flexing through the right foot, see if you can draw your left knee to your armpit so it is a balance. As you can see me wobbling around. You can also take yogic toe lock and see if you can extend the left leg up. Using the knife edge of this lower foot will help you to balance. Now if you still have a bit more space, you can wiggle more to the side of your mat. Come towards your back. Get that left knee over your left shoulder. So it's like you're putting a backpack on. Take your left hand in front of your heart. Hold onto your left foot with your right hand. And then roll onto your right side. Lean your head onto the hammock of your arm. Press through the left heel. Just breathe in there. Gain any variation. You can also be on your back, extending your left leg in the air with a strap around the foot. This is another modification if the balance is hard for you. Gently release. Let's take that to the other side. Rolling onto your left side. So again, the modification could be here with a strap around the foot, trying to lengthen your right hip down and roll the inner thigh towards the floor. So just know you can do that instead. Otherwise, just giving you variations here. So you've got a lot of things to work with. Finding your balance on your side so your head is in line with the heels. Draw your right knee in. Maybe hold onto the right knee. Again, this is the balance. Some of you can take yogic toe lock. So your arm is on the inside, your two peace fingers around the big toe. Kind of hold on to the fingers with your big toe, so you're not just pulling your toe off. And then extend the leg. Maybe bend in the elbow. Again, keep rolling onto your side, opening the leg back behind you. Either staying here or with the knee bent, or coming into the advanced variation. You roll onto your back, you lift your head, and you try and get that knee behind the shoulder. Now from there, holding on to the right foot with your left hand, take your right hand in front of your heart, roll back onto your side and extend through that right leg. Straighten through the left leg and lean your ear onto your arm. So both your legs are straight. This is Sleeping Vishnu. Keep rolling your right hip point away from your right armpit. Always taking your time to build up to these more advanced poses, knowing there's always a step along the way. For me now, I've been practicing for 12 years, so I started with very simple variations, and over time, hard work, constant practice, you go deeper and deeper. So there's no forcing into these poses, otherwise you have to backtrack. You're always looking after your body. Bend the knee. Roll onto your backs. Coming into your happy baby, either holding onto your knees, tail long, outer feet, pulling the knees down. If you want to go super crazy, cross your ankles, arms thread through the center, and then see if you can put your legs over your shoulders, like you're putting a sweater on. And then you hold behind the back. You can see my ankles are crossed. Some people might be able to get the legs all the way back there. Gently releasing these deep poses. Feet to the floor. Circle through your hips a few times, just to release that. There's no right or wrongs with this, it's just trying to find the release of the muscles. Press through the heels, press into your inner thighs, lower back long, otherwise bend your knees. Toes turn down to the floor, heels spin up. And then coming in to your Shavasana. Shoulder blades underneath you. Try to relax your hips. Every time your mind wanders away, just simply bring it back. Just noticing your body, observing the breath. Body gets heavier and heavier. You can find a point on the body where you can focus on the breath. So you might watch the belly rise and fall, the heart rise and fall, or maybe focusing right at the tip of the nostrils. just know you can always pause the class, and I would suggest to take Shavasana at least 5 minutes, preferably 7 to 12 minutes. Just remembering that this is the most important part of your practice. All these fun asanas, all these fun postures that we do are in preparation for meditation so that our bodies can lie quiet, so we can work to find the spaces between the thoughts, the stillness of the mind, to find that moment, the more peaceful state of being. Wiggle your fingers and your toes once you're ready to come out of Shavasana. Step your feet onto the floor one by one, and then draw your knees in. If you hold onto your kneecaps, you can circle the knees in one direction, rolling around the sacrum bone, which will massage the lower back, and then changing direction. Take your right arm alongside your ear, and you're going to roll onto your right side, using your arm as a pillow. Try to be floppy, breathe to the back of the heart. And then coming into a comfortable seated position, sitting onto a block or a blanket, so your hips are slightly higher than your knees, so that your lower back can lengthen easily. You're going to take your left hand into Janna Mudra. The thumb and index finger comes together. The index finger represents the individual consciousness. The thumb represents the universal consciousness. And when you bring them together, it's a mudra to bring us into connection with everyone around us, with everything around us. So relax the hand on the back of the leg so the elbow just dangles. Take your two peace fingers of your right hand, bring them towards the third eye point. Left finger to your, ring finger to your left nostril, thumb to your right nostril. Take a deep breath in through both. Close off the right nostril, exhale deeply through the left until you empty the breath. Inhale through that same left nostril, fill to the top, close off both and pause. Release the thumb, breathe out of the right nostril. Inhale, breathe through the right nostril all the way up to the top of the breath. Close both the nostrils and pause, retaining the breath. Try to soften so you're not hardening. And then release the ring finger and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left nostril to the back right lung, fill, fill, fill. Close off both, pause, soften. Release the thumb and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril to the back left lung. Close off both, pause. And exhale through the left. Just one more of those, or do a few more rounds on your own. Inhale through the left nostril to the back right lung. Close off both and pause. Exhale right nostril. Inhale right nostril to back left lung, fill to the top. Close off both and pause. Exhale left nostril. Either keep that going for a few more rounds on your own, or release your right hand down into Janna Mudra. Bring your mind to the focus, bring the focus of your mind between the fingers, between the thumb and the index fingers. Try to keep the mind steady there for a moment. Letting all of the dialogue go, all of the thoughts go. Breathe in evenly through both the nostrils now. Notice how you feel. Coming into your meditation, or bring your hands together in front of your heart. Gam Shri Maha Lakshmi Swaha. 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 May all the obstacles from my abundance be eliminated so that the flow of Shakti, life force, can flow freely through me. Namaste. Thank you for joining me here on Be More Yogic. My name's Amanda Dee. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.